Hello and welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress.
This is Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Brought to you by Leading Lights, LLC.
Hello back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Again, I'm Cecil and
And I'm Raphael. Today, we're going to break down whatever went down against Nashville, and later we'll be looking forward to what's to come at Red Bull.
Yeah,
Um,
we're missing Cam today. We're supposed to have him. Unlucky he couldn't join us. Thanks to Leading Lights for sponsoring this episode. But we're back to the OG Fortress for today, season 1. So we're feeling good. Cam, we miss you, buddy. But we'll move. Let's just get into that Nashville match. Man, 4-1. What a way to kick off the season with a 4-1 loss against Nashville. Incredible, really.
no, I, in my opinion, that was a disappointing game. Some people were
Disappointing.
during the game were saying like Nashville's a top 5 team, which they are, and how it's okay, but I just think um, going down 3-0 at one point is just never a good sign, even if they are a really good team.
Yeah. You're getting it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous scoreline for week 1. Um our back line was ravaged. I'm gonna start doing lineup reactions and like lineup breakdowns pre-game, so we don't have to talk about it as much on the podcast. But I'll kind of run through it quickly, based off my memory. Turner and net, great to see, and then you got Sands, which is not your first choice fullback, but
Yep.
he's an MLS capable backup, and so I wasn't too mad about that. It's unfortunate that he had to start though with Peyton Miller out. You got your backup center backs. You put Beeson on the bench, and you put Andrew Farrell and Keegan Hughes next to each other. Keegan Hughes, a little bit more than a year ago, was a free agent after leaving Columbus's B team. And then Andrew Farrell is 33 and hadn't started a match in MLS since July of 2024. Ooh,
Yep.
love Andrew. He was
Love
our
the guy. He's like my favorite guy, but
he's amazing. And then on the other side, we had who's our other fullback?
Kohler.
Kohler. We got saw the debut of Ethan Kohler. He's normally a center back. My idea was he could play fullback for the team, but man, that is a ravaged back line. In the midfield, you started Polster over Yusuf. Obviously a Yusuf fan, not my favorite move there. And also I don't know how I'm not too in love with uh
Yusuf came off the bench, right?
Yusuf came off the bench late. You also had Reigns who joined. Good to see that one. And then our front four of Carlos Hill, and then Griffin Yao. I like to see that over Luca Langoni. And then you also got um who's the other one? Like Terjman, and then you got Campana up top. Uh
Yeah.
Terjman's
Um,
in play as a wing. We'll kind of get into that, but
I personally didn't like that setup at
yeah,
all.
no. I don't think Final Bread as a 4-2-3-1. I think it read more as a 4-3-3 with
Turgeman on the wing,
Terjman
Capana,
on the wing
yeah.
and Yao on the wing. But man,
Right. Gill coming up as a cam, but I
yeah,
mean,
running through those scores, Surge scored in the 6th, and that already kind of took us for a whirl. And then Hughes scored again 10 minutes later in the 16th, and that just kind of took the wind out of the sails. Mukhtar in the
yeah, Honey
39th
Mukhtar. That's
made the game really impossible from that point. But Campana pulled him back, assisted by Carlos Hill in the 47th. And then we had a bad next 2 minutes with Griffin Yao getting a yellow just after, and then Madrigal putting this game away 4-1 for Nashville. Um, man,
yeah,
that
that's
really
not a
don't
great
love to see
game. I
that.
mean, let's just get into our one good, one bad.
We're just gonna move on to our one good, one bad at this point because there's really not much else to talk about. We had some okay chances, but we really just couldn't move the ball forward whatsoever.
Yeah, it was disappointing first game for Marco, disappointing first game for a bunch of our debutants,
And
and a
just the Reds
disappointing
in
first
general.
game for almost really anybody, even
Yeah,
Campana really, even though he had that goal, he wasn't great.
like his heat map, the spot he was in most was the center circle for kickoffs. Go.
And it's tough. He can't really do anything because we couldn't get the ball.
We can get to the bottom of them, and we'll just kind of get into our one good, one bad. I have a few options here. My good is Campana scored. Kind of building off that preseason where he scored a bunch of goals. He scored in this game. He could have had another one. But getting that goal, he was in the right spot. He managed to split that Nashville defense. It's good to see. I'm glad
Yeah.
to see that. Griffin Yao and Ethan Kohler, I liked their debuts. And then
That
Turner also did Turner things, but also our back line
yeah,
helped
that's my
Miguel.
good. I mean, the only for me, the only real good of the game was Turner made some good saves.
Yeah,
And again, showing why I believe he's the best goalkeeper in the MLS.
yeah. My bad, man. Farrell had to play 90. He was probably our best defender, but other like he shouldn't have to be doing that. He's 33. He shouldn't be having to go 90.
Yeah.
Um, Tershman really just didn't get used how Tershman should be used whatsoever.
Yeah, I feel like Turgeman, who came off last season having an insane last finish a couple games this season, was definitely underutilized. And in terms of like substitutions, I kind of didn't like how we went and on our subs, and I think it was just poor decision making as a whole as a team.
Yeah, subs weren't great, but that Tershman, well, I'm gonna linger on that for a second more. Man, what like he had such a great end to the season last season, coming in late, and then you didn't get used. It was just bad, and it was
I was viewed him and
words.
Campana as kind of having a strike partnership, but I don't think playing Turgeman on the wing is kind of the game plan going forward.
Yeah. Off the bench, Tanner Beaston came in earlier because Will
Cool,
Sam
Sam.
had a head injury, which is unfortunate to see. MLS quality backup. Obviously, I don't like him starting week one, but I hope he's all good. You got to move on to Luca Langoni. He came in
Right, for Turgeman.
for Tershman. He wasn't great either. Um, Fry, he didn't do too well either. And then you have Feingold and Yusuf coming in late. Feingold, he definitely should have started. Coach's decision not to start him because the rest of the back line. My thought process there is that okay, when Peyton and Mamadou and um, Ceballos all come back, he's on the same fitness level as them, and he's not like games behind. But
Yeah, I agree.
they're also coming off of injuries, so he should have like at least gotten that run and not like sat on the bench for
Also, it's not
82.
like Feingold's like was one of our best new players last year.
Yeah, he was incredible last year. So I don't like that decision not to start him. I'm gonna pop down to Revs Wolves. You left us a comment on Twitter. Appreciate it. You said thoughts on Mitrovic. I thought he made some very questionable lineup choices and is also not using Tershman effectively. Yeah, like we were just talking about, Tershman really just wasn't used great. I'm still high on Marco. He seems really nice, and I feel like Nashville is a very tough team to play week one, especially when they bring in a guy like Madrigal, who came out of nowhere and got a goal and assist. And then they obviously have Super Sam Surge and Ani Mukhtar. It's a very, very difficult team to play week one,
They do, but I
but
do kind of see
that doesn't
where
excuse a 4-1 loss. That's
yeah, yeah. Because I do think Marco could have adapted a little more. That's all I mean. I know it's his first game as a manager.
it's
We can't
difficult for
be too
him.
harsh. And then last night I did say some rough words talking to you and Cam because I was set in the heat of the moment.
Yeah,
But it is his first game as a manager. But I do think he should have adapted more. But we'll see going
yeah.
into this next game.
Like number one, you called Jaden Daw up on a short-term loan. I didn't expect him to get used, but you also didn't put Allen or Cristiano Oliveira on the bench. Instead, you put Jackson you on the bench. And so you leave both of those guys off. Not too high on that. You chose not to start Yusuf, which I think would have been a better addition than Campana. Or not Campana, sorry, Polster. It's not starting Feingold. Not too keen on that one. And then your attack was how it should be, except for the fact that you didn't use Tershman right. Tershman, excuse me, voice has been screwing me up all day. Um, Tershman, yes, he likes to drift out wide. He's still a striker, and he still should be deployed in that strike
That's what
position.
we paid 5.5 million for.
We paid it. We paid for a bunch. We paid 2.5 for Campana and Gam. We paid a chunk for Terjman. I think Marco likes to run a 4-3-3. Don't know how well that fits his team. We have some great attacking talent, and so here's what I would recommend: a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-2. Same a backline of uh going Peyton, Ceballos, Fofana, Feingold, Turner, Net, and then you move up to the midfield. Say we're doing 4-2-2. Those defensive midfielders, or just those midfielders in general, you have one going up, you have Carlos Hill, and you have one going down, Reigns. On the wings, you go, sorry, you go Langoni and you go Yao, and the up top you go Tershman and Capano, or you do Yusuf Reigns, you move Cappy out wide, but allow him to drift in, and then have Yao and just Tershman has that ability to stay in the middle, but also drift out wide, and just give them that flexibility in a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-2, where they can kind of move freely how they like, and those four attackers can become interchangeable
Yep.
and where they are. That's what I'd like to see. Something I'd like to see that tried. Not sure how effective it would be. I'm not the head coach of the Revs, and I also don't coach a soccer team, so it'd be interesting to see what that could be. But I'd like to
But
see something
yeah,
like that happen. Um,
moving on to the big stats of the game, in terms of expected goals, we had 0.91. Well, Nashville had 2.9. Um, way
yeah,
Nash,
you
I
gotta
mean,
you gotta linger on that for a second. Nashville scored 4 goals.
yeah,
Their expected goals was around 3. They had 2 more expected goals than we did. We had about 1. We got 1 goal. We had 4 total shots as a team. We
one
couldn't
on
get the
target, which was
ball.
that goal
We had 1 on target, which was the goal. We had 4 total shots. That's it. Nashville had 10 more than us.
with
Or
14, and then of them being
eight
on
on
target.
target. Half of those on target became goals.
Well,
So
our attack just wasn't there, and we gotta.
our attack, which was supposed to be the one to make this game competitive, because our backline wasn't our number one backline at any position, they they didn't do anything. We scored 1 goal and we only have 4 shots. We couldn't move that ball forward. And it felt like we were playing this game really from the Nashville, like just beyond half to like we were playing the entire game like in our half basically.
Yep,
And we would venture forward, but very rarely. So it just I'm defeated. It's a 4-1 loss. The team is defeated. They just lost 4-1. This is not a first game you want to see.
yep. And then we play next game a team that would have won 2-0 if it wasn't for a last goal by
And
Orlando, which
you
we'll
gotta
talk about
yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But
in a minute. But
the
we're gonna
fight
move
really
on to our five-side breakdown brought to you by Viking Sports.
yeah, Viking Sports MA, go check them out. Do some great stuff. Cam, you scored a 6.1 and won this week. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. He ended up starting Joe Willis at keeper, who didn't play, and they started Schwake. Um, Fine Gold off the bench, he got a 6.2. Farm up doesn't show it anymore, but I caught it just before. So I'll give him a 6.2. And then Kyle Seal 8, Sam Surge 9, Campana 7.5. That works out to a 6.1. Good game.
Yeah, he had Surge there.
Surge really carried him there. I
I
had
mean, he
Turner.
had what, three goal scorers, 3 goals, and then
He had,
like a assist. So that's just good.
yeah, I had Turner, and then 1 goal from Mukhtar. Ceballos didn't play. Turner got a 7. Mukhtar got a 7.9. Tershman got a 5.6. Just really just didn't
Which
have a
again, we expected him to do. He just wasn't utilized, so it's not like your fault for picking him. I would have picked him in
yeah,
that space
exactly.
too. It's
So
just
then Espinosa got a 7. He was all right. He wasn't incredible, but Nashville did well. He didn't have to do too much because Surd took the lead early, so good on him. And I ended up working out to a 5.5. The computer, wow. If someone was to pick the best overall team, it would have been Turner, who I had, Palios, who was on Nashville, who had 7 defensive duels won, got a 7.7. Coliseum, who Cam had, who got an 8. Surge, who had a 9, 2 goals. Cam also had him, and then Madrigal, a goal and assist, like we mentioned earlier, 8.2 for the debutant. Man, that works out to an 8. The max score is an 8. The low is obviously a zero point 0 if you start all like bench guys and like guys who don't play.
yeah.
But man, me and Cam got blown out of the water by the computer, but Cam takes this game 1-0.
But we'll see about this next week.
Yeah, we'll see. Can't Raph, you pick first, so we'll get into that in a bit. Um,
Well, let's move into your predictions that you guys had.
my man of the match is gonna go to Campana. He scored. Good to see that. Uh, I could complain, but we got a goal. Cam has him. He's up 1-0. He's up against both of us in the goal score draft early. Um, yeah, I predicted 2-2, and I had Hany Mukhtar scored in the scoring in the 36th. He scored in the 39th. Pretty smart. And then Cam also had 2-2 and had a surge brace.
Yeah, in terms of that goal scorer draft, pretty scared if this is how we utilize Turgeman. That's who I picked. So this is the number one overall pick. So pretty scared if that's how we're going to go through this season. So hopefully we do for the sake of the team and for the sake of my goal scorer side.
Yeah, I do apologize. My voice is slowly going. Had a long day.
But yeah, Cam had that surge brace. So I mean, shout to
Pretty
him. That's pretty
shouts to him.
cool.
Shouts to I am truly sorry, everyone.
But yeah, shouts to Cam and
Me
yeah, I think we
yeah,
just got to move on for that game. Focus on
yeah,
the
we
next week.
focus on next week. Yeah, it wasn't a great game. It's a hard team to play against week one. You don't want to see a 4-1 loss right there,
Yeah,
week one, but we'll move. It's week one. We still have 33 other games to play.
yeah, we move
Uh,
forward.
yeah, we'll move forward. Raph, who's your man of the match?
Man of the
Who
match. I always like doing the man of the match for the Revs. So we really didn't have anyone out there except for Turner, and he let in four goals. Goals. So that says something.
That'd say a lot. He made a bunch of
That
stuff.
says a lot. I know I didn't have a prediction going in the game,
Yeah.
but I was thinking going in the game we draw 1-1. So we all had a draw going, and we got the exact opposite. But Cecil, got anything else to add?
Well, the exact opposite would be if you predicted a win, you got a loss, or the other, or vice versa. Um,
What
there's
did I
no
say?
You said um I would have predicted a draw and we got the exact opposite.
Well, you're right. We didn't have the exact Well, yeah. We had
Yeah.
the 4-1 loss. That's what we had.
Yeah. So with that, I'll sign over to Leading Lights LLC, sponsor of the podcast.
Unlock the power of your platform data with Leading Lights, experts in transforming raw numbers into compelling benchmarks. Leading Lights helps a variety of companies turn insights into engaging stories that drive growth. Elevate your brand with data-driven content that captivates your audience and sets you apart from the competition with Leading Lights. Visit their website at leadinglights.io to see how you can transform your platform data.
Hello, back to what do Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Again, I'm Cecil and we got Raphael Babchuk on the other side, and we're now going to break down and go ahead and look at that Red Bull match. We're not breaking it down, we're looking ahead.
Looking ahead, and they just recently beat Orlando City 2-1 away.
Away from home.
They were up 2-0, and in the end, Orlando ended up scoring in like their dying seconds. So it
Like,
really is a 2-0 game.
yeah, it's a 2-0 win, basically. 2-1 on like a 90 plus 6.
Yeah, 90 plus 6 from Thiago. But Julian Hall ended up scoring a brace, so he's something to look out for.
Yeah, Jordan Hall. Their squad is very young. They played with a squad that averaged age um of 23.4.
And that's hard
Mehmeti,
to do when you have like your
your
basically your
goalkeeper sport
starring,
when your goalkeeper's
like your
30
headline player being Emil Forsberg. So
and you got your goalkeeper who's like 30 plus um in Horvath, and you got Nellis who's 27 on your back line. They got Mehmeti in the midfield, born April of '09. He's 16. He got an assist. Julian Hall scored a brace. He's 17. Dos Santos, who did well uh, from fullback, who's 17. And they have five more U24 players. I only say U24 because they have just brought in a guy from Mexico. Man, they brought Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting off the bench. Like he was starting
off
for
the bench, and he's good.
he is good, and he's getting on now. But I'm pulling up the Red Bull roster because we're gonna get into our five-a-side match. And
Yep.
I kind of need to see what I'm drafting here. Like the guy
You
that I
said
got,
I got first pick, right?
yeah, Jorge Ruva Ruvalacaba. There we go. And so I've got them open. And Raph, you have first pick because I picked first last time. And we're changing the rules a bit. You don't have to pick goalkeeper first. And so last time we went goalkeeper, and then Cam would pick. I would go goalkeeper, and then Cam would go goalkeeper defender, and then I'd do defender midfielder, and then he'd do defender or midfielder attacker.
Hmm.
And then I do attacker extra, and then he'd do his extra. We're changing it so now um, they've got you can pick a midfielder first, and then I can pick my defense, and then I can pick a defender, and then you can go to the attack, and then I can do my midfielder, and so we can just bounce around now. So we'll just kind of run it like that. I'll be I'll be typing everything in.
Yeah, for my
So,
first pick, I mean, I think I already got it locked down. I was kind of lingering on Julian Hall, but I'm going to go with Emil Forsberg.
do you want him at your midfield position or your extra position?
My midfield.
And you got Forsberg in there. Forsberg finished that game with 1 assist, um, 8.5 on the game. And also, you got to think about that match that they played against Orlando. Crepeau, who um starts for Orlando now he signed on a free from Portland. He got a 9.
Yeah.
It's that LeBron James graphic. It's like the no help. Someone's got to throw that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick for me because who knows who they start next week? Do they again start Julian Hall?
I think they do after scoring a brace, but I don't. It depends if we start if we have defenders back to full strength, which is why I'm kind of scared to pick them.
I'm gonna. Well, you gotta remember Orlando also has very strong defenders in Iago. They brought in Griffin Dorsey. I'm gonna pick Julian Hall as my forward because I want to see what he can do. He scored 2 goals. He got a 9.1. He did great. Um, so I'll bank on the 17-year-old. Who's next for you? You going attack, extra defender, goalkeeper? Where are we at?
I'm gonna go for my. I was thinking attack. I was gonna go Tujerman, but I'm kind of scared that they're gonna play him, so I'm gonna go for my goalkeeper, and I'm gonna pick not Matt Turner, but I'm gonna pick Horvath.
Going with Ethan Horvath, 30 years old. I said 30 plus earlier. He recently signed. That was his first match for Red Bull. He signed. He was with Sheffield Wednesday for a bit.
He just
Cardiff.
had a good game the other game,
He was on
and Matt Turner
tour.
led him four, so it's hard for me to pick him, even though he was our best player. Not saying he had a great performance or anything, but he was our best player.
Yeah, man, it's an interesting pick for me, but I'm gonna say for my extra, I'm gonna go extra now. Cade Cowell.
Whoa,
I like him. He didn't get a goal or assist last time, but he did well. He's on loan from Chivas, and he played before with who did he play with before? He was with San Jose. Played 114 matches. He's a good player. I want to see. Obviously, I'm not hoping he does great, but I think he'll do great. So I'm gonna go for Cowell and Raf. You're up again. You have your pick of defender
extra. We
attacker.
got Carlos.
You're taking a Carlos at your extra.
Yep,
You got Hall and I've got Hall. You got Heel.
I can't let you have. I need heal, so
No,
had to get him in there. He might get a goal or
that's
assist.
a hit for me because I was kind of hoping he'd fall. I also can't take any Revs attackers. Um, and I don't love my Red Bull midfield options. Because you already took Forsberg. Um, they've got Mehmeti, but I don't know. He's the 16-year-old. He's the same age as me.
So you can't do that.
I
Impossible.
it hurts me to do that. He's a little bit older, born in April, but man, that would hurt. That like,
That's a no-go.
it's a tough one. And then Rebs, you didn't have anyone stand out in the midfield. Brooklyn Reigns didn't have a
You had
great
like the
game.
exact opposite. You had nobody stand out. It was like we played like the midfield was just apart from Carlos Hill, if you count him as like a like true midfielder, which I count him as an attacking midfielder, not the same as so. I mean,
I think I'm gonna go defender. I'm gonna take Justin Shea from Red Bull.
ah,
7.9. He did well last time.
damn you. That was my pick.
He got a yellow last time and still finished with a 7.9. He recently signed on from Brondby. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm going with Chad. Right now I've got an all Red Bull lineup. That won't be the case for long. But Raf, you have your attacker left and you have your defender left. Who you going for?
So I don't know if I want to pick Tushman because I don't know how we're gonna
Tershman.
utilize him,
Tershman's a
but
big question mark.
but I have in my goal scorer draft. I want a score, so we're just gonna go Tushman.
We're going Door, Terjemain. Now I have my pick between I need a midfielder and I need a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, I'm gonna leave for my last pick.
Right, yeah.
You already know who it is. So it's midfield for me. Do I take Mehmeti? Do I take Dunkor, who did well last match, or do I go for one of the Revs guys? That's a really tough pick because that right now I have a full Red Bull lineup, and you took Carlos Hill, which really hurts me. I do have more faith in your team than I do my team right now, so that doesn't help. I don't want to put my faith in a 16-year-old. No offense, but like he's 16. And then they didn't really have anyone incredible come off the bench at midfield. They had Bregren come off the bench, but man, I think I'm gonna put my faith in Ronald Donkor because do I? It's either him or Brooklyn Reigns, and I'm gonna go Ronald Donkor because
Yeah.
yeah, and then I'm gonna. It's your pick for your defender, but I'm already gonna put my keeper in.
Yeah, you got Turner.
I'll mention
And
that.
then I'm gonna go for my center back. Because I'm just don't know who we're gonna play at defender. So I'm gonna go Dylan Nealis.
Going
Hope I'm
Dylan.
saying that last name right, but he
Nellis,
had a good game last.
Nellis, 7.5. He did well. Um, so yeah, we could have gone Marshall Ruddy. We could have gone for excuse me for any of the Revs fullbacks.
Yep.
But yeah, you have except for Heel and Turgeman, you have three Red Bull. I have four Red Bull.
Not looking good and going to his predictions. I mean, Cecil, you wanna kick us off?
Yeah, I will. Also, by the way, are you keeping the stopwatch?
I am.
Okay, cool. What are we at
25,
for the whole thing?
maybe. Um, 26, 27,
For the
20,
whole
yeah,
thing.
27.
For the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll kind of kick us off with our predictions. I picked Julian Hall. I picked Cade Cowell. I picked Ronald Encore. I picked Justin Shea. I have Red Bull winning. It's unfortunate. We're gonna start 0-2. It's not gonna be as bad as this one though. Red Bull is not nearly the team that Nashville is. I do think we will score, and I think it's gonna be give me two. No, no, we're not scoring this game. Give me 2-0 Red Bull. And then
2-0 Red Bull. Who scores?
about to get to that 2-0 Red Bull. I think it might be Red Bulls now. Um, scores. I'm putting my faith in. I don't think Forsberg will score. Um, give me a 51st minute goal by Cowell. Give me hold on. I'm like formatting this different. Cowell in the 51st. And then for my second goal, I think I might do a Cowell brace. Um, but I think they might pull it on for a corner. I'm gonna go Marshall Ruddy. I feel like remember, this is for donuts. This is why I'm thinking so hard. This is for donuts. If I can nail this down, if I can nail 2-0 with the goal scorers right, I get donuts. Remember that. Um, the Revs aren't scoring, so I don't know. Yeah, give me one off the quarter for Marshall Ruddy. Not, uh, no, give me one off the quarter for Shea in the 68th. Uh,
68th.
so Cowell in the 51st. We hold off for 0-0 in the first half, and then we go Cowell in the 51st, and then Shea in the 68th. Raf, what do you got
I
for? I
got do you know who takes penalties for Red Bulls?
believe it's Forsberg.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I think Forsberg scores a penalty in the 11th minute, and I think That's how the game finishes.
And then it just ends 1-0.
1-0, Forsberg. I want to say penalty. I don't know. It's gonna be an early goal, and I don't
Ends
think we
1-0 to
can.
Red Bull with
I don't think we.
4:30
I
in the
put
11th.
Turgeman out there because I hope he scores, and I was thinking we might draw 1-1, but we won't.
Yeah. We have a I'd call it a statement from Paulo S. Um, reads Red Bull. Red Bulls looked pretty damn good down in Orlando. We better hope our center back pairing is back next Saturday, or it's another ugly L. Yeah, you
I
got.
agree. I do believe we should have our center. I want to have a center back pairing back. I don't think it's
Obviously,
gonna be an ugly loss, but I do think we lose.
yeah. I think we're gonna lose. It's not gonna be as ugly. 2-0 isn't pretty. Um, but you also got to think. I don't know what we're expecting with Mamadou Fofana right now. He hasn't been training. As he's been trying to get his green card, which he officially got. Congrats to him. So really, it gets down to like we next week. Who do we start at center back? Brian Ceballos, if he's back. Hopefully he's back. He was
I
questionable.
don't think Farrell should because like
No, I
look at
don't.
the performance that happened last game. No offense, but
He wasn't
he's
awful, but
he's
none of
just
our guys played
aging.
well. So do I trust Farrell to go 2 straight games going 90? No, I don't. So, that being said, do I trust Keegan Hughes to play again? No, I don't. So,
So it just leaves us in a conundrum in the back,
it ends
and
up
that's why we
being,
both predicted loss without a goal scorer.
and
Pretty
then
sad.
also
Pretty sad.
you gotta think, what are we looking at for fullback? Do we look at if Peyton's back, do we look at, a pairing of Peyton Miller and, Eli Feingold? Or are we looking at a pairing with Beeson at center back next to
Mhm.
Ceballos with Kohler and Feingold? Or are we looking at Kohler as the other center back? So it's just like, Marker could throw a curveball at us, throw Yusuf in midfield, put Andrew Farrell in defensive midfield. Like, you never know. So, just a big question there. Not too sure what's happening. We're hoping for our center back pairing to be back, but I don't think they will. I think only Ceballos will be back, and then we don't know about Peyton Miller. So that's kind of wrapping it up. Raph, you got anything else?
Hoping for a win.
Oh, hope
I
for
don't
a
think we
win.
got it.
Yeah,
Lost my
Cam
hope.
couldn't be with us today. He wishes he could. So yeah, make sure you go follow us on X and Instagram at Foxboro's Fortress. Make sure you follow Cam and his ghost. That's linked in our description in Instagram. Make sure to go check him out at Cameron Benefit Journalism on Instagram and at Camby11 underscore on Twitter. Uh, Make sure you're following and listening on whatever platform for podcasts you are on: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.
If
Yeah,
you want to be featured, come next episode. Let us know in the comments, and you will be featured just um as you can see, there were features today from Polo S and Res Wolf. So let us know your opinion. We love having your opinion on the podcast.
yeah, we appreciate it, giving us more to talk about. Thank you, Leading Lights and Viking Sports MA once again. Y'all are great. Go check them out. And then next episode again should come Monday, but you never know. Things always come up. And so we're attempting to stick to a normal schedule. Last week was a bit hectic, as we got a bunch of content out and y'all did amazing things listening, giving your thoughts, so I do appreciate that. Brian Ceballos, appreciate you liking my five-a-side team last time around. You did not play, but it's in my personal bio now, so you should check that out. Go follow me. So that looks like it'll be it. Raph, you reclaim your line once more. You ready for it?
I've been ready. Been prepping for this all day.
He's been waiting. So here we go. This was
Foxboro's Fortress.